vitamin C drink. It's like that vitamin C packet stuff, which is hot water. So good, and it's gonna help fight this cold. Hey YouTube, it's Imani Christine back again with another video. Today I'm going to talk about the 9 things that I wish I knew before I moved to Spain to teach English. If you're curious in finding out what these 9 things are, then keep watching. Alright, so the 9 things I wish I knew before coming to Korea. These are in no specific order, so let's just get started with number 9. Yeah, let's start from the bottom, because that just seems right. I wish I knew that finding an apartment in Spain, or at least in Madrid, but I assume in other parts of Spain as well. Actually, I'm not going to assume. I'm going to talk about what I know. I wish I knew, prior to moving to Madrid, that finding a place to live was going to be so difficult. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to go find an apartment, right? No, wrong. You are going to struggle to find that apartment. You're really going to struggle. At least I struggled. It was so difficult. And there are definitely a couple apps out there and websites, but you know, between shifting through all the scams and the people trying to overcharge you because you're a foreigner and the language barrier and this and that, finding an apartment when you come is not an easy task. So make sure you give yourself enough time to find a place. Don't do like how I did and just book a place for 1 week. Give yourself at least 2 weeks to find a place to live, because I was in a situation where I had about 12 hours before I was homeless, and so the first thing that came up to me that was available, I just had to take it because I didn't want to be homeless, and I couldn't find somewhere else to stay last minute, and I had too much stuff with me to be able to easily travel around the city, so I just took my overpriced room and kept it pushing, and I wish I didn't put myself in that position. Number 8. I wish I knew before coming to Spain that being given a contract that says you're going to work for 18 hours a week or 19 hours a week or 21 hours a week doesn't actually mean you're only going to be in school for 20 hours a week or whatever your contract says. Because of how the day works, it's a very good possibility that you're going to be in school a lot longer than that. That was a rude awakening for me, seeing that I went with the BEDA program and was told that I was only going to work 18 hours a week. And I ended up being in school for 26 hours a week and working 5 days a week and having no day off, like how I assumed. I was like, oh, you know, it kind of stinks not being given so many hours. But the upside is at least I will have more free time. No, I was only paid for 18 hours a week and I was still in school 5 days a week, and it was just foolishness, but that was the reality. So don't assume just because you're only working, you know, a couple hours a week, you know, it means you'll definitely have a day off, or means you'll definitely have a lot of free time, because your schedule could be all over the place, how mine was, where I'd have a class in the morning and then a long break in the afternoon and a class in the evening, or a class here, a class there. It's a really horrible setup for my schedule. And that brings me to number 7 on the list, which is that private classes are essential to survive. Now, maybe you're wondering how the two things correlate. I knew before coming that I wasn't going to be making a lot of money, but I thought that it would be enough to live off of. And for some people it might be, but for, I guess, my lifestyle and my comforts, it wasn't enough. And so private classes were, you know, non-negotiable. I had to make them to survive. But prior to coming, I thought, well, with 18 hours a week, I'll definitely have plenty of time for private classes. I'll definitely only be working 4 days a week. Wrong and wrong. I was still at school 26 hours a week, and so I still had to find time during the evenings to squeeze in all my private classes, and it just meant that I was working really hard for very little money, and so that wasn't very enjoyable. I think I made around 930 euro a month with BEDA after taxes, because I was doing the 18 hours, something like that. It was really low, like somewhere around 900 euro a month, and my rent was 450 euro a month alone. And I have another video about the cost of living in Spain, so you can check that out. I'll link it up here somewhere so you can click on that and watch it later. But yeah, you can get by, but the whole reason for me coming to Spain was so that I could see Spain, so that I could travel Europe. But I'm trying to, you know, cover my basic living expenses. Traveling was really a struggle. And so on my list, that's number 6, the fact that moving to Spain to teach English doesn't mean, sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. Traveling Europe will be a financial sacrifice. Traveling in Spain will be a financial sacrifice on the money that you're making alone. If you do not do private classes and you're going to stick to your BEDA salary and then you're going to travel Europe and have this amazing experience, nah, it's not going to happen. Either come with a savings that you want to deplete or get some private classes, because if not, it's going to be difficult to do everything you want. Don't get me wrong, I made it work. I learned in Spain how to better manage my money, and I was able to take a few trips. I went to Prague, I went to London, I went to Amsterdam, so I definitely made it work. And I also had a group of friends that I could travel with, which kind of cut the cost. But definitely know, if you're there and you're, you know, wanting to ball out and live that lifestyle, I don't know English teaching salary or not, because it was a struggle. I also wish that I knew, moving on to number 5, that during the school day, you're going to have a lot of breaks. It goes along with number 1, so I'll make it quick. But yeah, I didn't expect to have so much free time throughout the day. Now, I lived an hour away from my school, so that free time felt like a chore, because I couldn't go home, I couldn't do anything but sit in school. And how it worked in my school, we have 2 classes in the morning and then a 30-minute break. And then we would have 1 class and then a 2-hour lunch break. And that just was like, just killing for me. Just sitting there doing nothing, not being paid for that time. You know, so many things I could have been doing that I couldn't do because I lived so far away from my school. It just was like, just know in advance that, yeah, maybe you're only scheduled for 18 hours a week, but your school probably also has 2.5 hours worth of breaks during the day. So add, you know, that into your schedule as well. If all of your classes, you know, aren't before or after the lunch period, that'll mean you're also wasting a bit more time at your school. So number 4 on my list is going to be, you need to know basic Spanish when you come and move to Spain. It seems so obvious, but it really is going to be a lifesaver. I came with very basic Spanish, but I am so grateful for the little bit that I knew, and it allowed me to pick up the language a lot more easily because I had a bit of a foundation. But just doing basic everyday tasks in Spain without any sort of understanding of the language is going to prove very difficult. So somehow I skipped 3 and 2 and just skipped to 1, so I'm going to add them in here. So number 3 on my list was that the weather in Madrid is absolutely amazing. The summers are horrible. I take it back. The summers are absolutely horrible. It's so hot. But the school year is great. The fall season is beautiful. Winter, not too cold. Spring is lovely. So that is one great thing about living in Spain that you should know before you go. And the second thing on my list was that the food in Spain is very, how do I say this? The food in Spain is very bland. It's a lot of ham, a lot of cheese, a lot of bread, but not a lot of flavor. So that's something that I wish I knew before coming. Alright, so that brings me on to my final point. And then last on my list, the thing that you should know before coming to Spain is quite obvious. You should know prior to coming to Spain that you are going to have a really awesome time. I hope. My time in Spain wasn't perfect, and when I left I was quite happy to be leaving, but looking back on my experience, I can truly say that I have such fond memories. I worked at a great school, I made great friends, Spain was fun, and I had my challenges, I had my ups and downs, I had my difficult moments, but as a whole, I learned a lot, I grew as a person. And I think every experience that we have that involves travel or working or anything, you know, is preparing us for the future. So if you're thinking about teaching in Spain, and money's not important to you, you're okay with being broke, then go for it. That was so shady. Alright, thank you so much for checking out my video on the 9 things that I wish I knew before coming to Spain. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, please still give it a thumbs up, duh. And don't forget to subscribe down below. See you in my next video. Bye.